Inside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, which searches for someone who understands the pain you've been through. The spirit waits with open arms, calling out your name, calling up from home. I love you, belong here now. No matter where you've been, calling, calling, calling. There is room enough in the whole world for someone just like you. Calling, welcome home. I love you, belong here now. No matter where you've been, calling, calling, calling. Calling, welcome home. I love you, belong here now. No matter where you've been, calling, calling, calling.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so we welcome everyone who's here, whether you're here for the 100th time or the first time, we're glad that you are here. And if you're watching online, we greet you and welcome you as well. We have a few announcements this morning. Oh, the monitor isn't on. Okay. So the announcements this morning. And okay. So we have, I'm going to call up Pauline to make an announcement about the hoedown. And there you go. Thank you.
And I would like to ask the lady in red just to come on up so you can see her. So Dawn is our head cook, but she has many helpers.
Yes.
And you saw her greeting at the door this morning. The helpers are behind-the-scenes helpers who are bringing in lots of food. But Dawn has a request about one particular item, and that has to do with barbecue.
Yes. If we have anybody who is just an amazing barbecuer that could help out Larry and his other barbecuers, it would be great to have somebody in the wings, because we got to make a lot of steak and chicken. Oh my goodness. So yeah, let us know if you're talented that way. Great. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Today's the last day.
Thank you, Dawn. There are a few other items. Gail Love, who's one of our newer members, has volunteered to be a greeter that evening to take the tickets. Now, she works until 5 o'clock, and she's hoping to get out a bit early, but she would love to have another greeter along with her. Please see me or Gail Love. Where's Gail? That's such a great name. There's Gail in the back. Please see either me or Gail right after the service to see if we can help out there. In terms of our dishwashers, and this is an essential part, naturally, of the hoedown, one that none of us want to think about. We're going to have fun, right? And last year we saw people washing dishes for hours and hours. So about 3 weeks ago I contacted Field Tech, spoke to the guidance teacher, asked if there might be students who would be interested in providing community service. I have not heard back yet. We did send a flyer, and I said you get a chance to hear the great music of Jim and his Continentals, Incontinentals, and Les Holmes, and be with a lot of positive people. I will call them Tuesday morning, just in case. I shouldn't even say just in case. We're just optimistic that we'll get them from there. But if I phone you on the phone, please don't hang up. We want this to be a fabulous, fun-filled event. And we're going to set up on Thursday afternoon to accommodate Barb and George Rand because Barb's doing decorations, and that's setting up tables. I'll pick up Ed at 2:30, and this dear lady in black, who's near the back, is coming in to help us. And if you want to come and help set up tables, that's great. That's Thursday afternoon. And Friday, John will be here. And if you want to come and help out, please do.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of work putting something together, so let's hear it for Polly. So Ken, there is a plug up here that isn't plugged in. I wonder if you know where it should be plugged, because the monitor's not on.
Okay.
It was on when I first got here, and then I moved it, and then it's not working. Okay, good, thank you. Okay, and the other is that for those volunteers, it could be that you have a child or a grandchild that's looking for some high school volunteer credits. If so, let Pauline know. Okay, so I came across this wonderful expression of unity, and I wanted to affirm it together. So let's speak this together. In unity, we believe in one power and one presence, the God, the good, omnipotent. We see God as love, wisdom, and divine mind. We honor all spiritual paths and the diversity of paths. Excellent. Thank you so much for enlightenment. And the next slide. We believe that we are born blessed, and through meditation, affirmation, and prayer, we remember this truth. Through the law of mind action, we activate our good, creating harmony and unity in our lives and in around the world. That really speaks to what we are about. For Thanksgiving, I'd like to call Paula to come up and share something that she has written in gratitude.
I joined the writing group and it's got me writing. So I couldn't let this go by without acknowledging that this has been a very special time coming to the Unity, and I've even got the loan of a pair of glasses. At Thanksgiving, I want to give thanks to my Creator for being my travel guide on my journey to express and experience my trip here on Earth. It began with a country village in England, family and a close-knit community and support that I'm very grateful for. It grew in circles that I studied in England, Canada, and the world. Back in Canada, I taught yoga and delved into Eastern philosophy. I wondered at the complexity of our spiritual seeds embedded in each of us. I give thanks for the birth of my 2 sons. Recently, I asked my Creator for the opportunity to worship with music and others who shared my path, to open my heart and release my fears. A few weeks later, I was invited to a musical evening with Jim Chapman and his trio. I sat next to a Unity member who shared with me a joy at being part of that group. At a service, I felt this was my spiritual haven, and we sang the hymn, "You're One in the Spirit," which I knew from yoga retreats. Of course, made me feel right at home. And sometimes at night I awake and hear the music moving through me. So a special thanks to Jim Chapman and Carolyn, who I was so pleased to see when I came. I'm thankful for my family and dear friends, and to Canada, where I enjoy the bounty. And all of you for being my spiritual companions along the route. Thank you.
So let's stand and sing.
But the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. The joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart. You stay me down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the spirit that's part of me down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the spirit that's part of me down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the love and faith and understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the love and faith and understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the blessings of the power of prayer down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the blessings of the power of prayer down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the happiness that peace to bring down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the happiness that peace to bring down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I've got the family and unity down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the family and unity down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Down in my heart to stay. Down in my heart to stay.
Good morning. Unity's foundation is affirmative prayer. That means Unity defines prayer as the most highly accelerated mind action known. It is an affirmation of truth and the communion between you and all that is. Through prayer, the mind is renewed and circumstances transformed. If you wish prayer for someone else or for yourself, you're invited to use our prayer box, just on the front here. Put a first name only on a piece of paper and place it in the box. No need to explain the situation, as the divine mind is all-knowing. It will be prayed over here at Unity by our prayer angels for 30 days and then sent on to Silent Unity for additional prayer. Remember, 24 hours a day you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY to reach Silent Unity, where people have been praying with and for people for over 130 years. Now, if you wish private one-on-one prayer or the sharing of healing energy, our prayer chaplain will be available at the back of the sanctuary following the service. Just take a seat on the chair in front of you. Today's prayer chaplain is Pauline. Please come forward and lead us in prayer.
I invite you to join in prayer. If you wish to close your eyes, that's fine. Here in our Unity of London community, we are surrounded by love and support. We are also enfolded sometimes with the need to meet challenges. And today we hold in our hearts our dear Mary Locke, as her husband Merv made his transition during the last week. We send out our love and know that Mary is enfolded with faith and the courage that springs from deep within. We also hold in prayer the director of our board, Larry Bro, who is always ready and willing to support us. And we hold him in continuing good health and strength. For anyone within our community who has special needs right now, whether they be for emotional solace or for physical help, we know that within us are deep wells of strength, faith, love, and light. May those continue to flow for you and those you love. In October, we hold in prayer Unity Church of Mississauga and Unity of Barrie. Today, on this Thanksgiving weekend, we have so much to be grateful for. And we are grateful. Period. May we feel grateful every day, many times throughout the day, for all of our blessings. I invite you now to whisper quietly anyone you wish to hold in special prayer today. And we send out our love and our encouragement to all faiths, all peoples who are celebrating this weekend. We hold in prayer anyone in any war-torn country, especially in Syria right now. And we say thank you for all that we hold dear. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Pauline. And now for our message from the Daily Word, brought to you by Silent Unity. I'm particularly pleased to be reading this because I'm the Sacred Service Coordinator for Unity here, and this one's about service. I experience joy as I give of myself in service to others. Today I serve those closest to me as well as the larger community through my thoughts, words, and actions. As I see individuals or groups, I remember each person is the image of God just as I am, with unlimited potential. In my professional work and as a volunteer, I look for opportunities to offer my skills and gifts in service to them. Divine love flows to me and from me as I do what is mine to do. I experience great joy as I give myself in service to others. I need no expression of gratitude from them, although they often give it. My service blesses me with a growing awareness of oneness with those I serve and with all of humankind. Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another. Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9.
Now, in Unity, we believe that we're all intimately interconnected, and I have a little proof of that today. Carlin often picks our music for the services, and she did for this week, and picked a tune by Louis Armstrong, called What a Wonderful World. Beautiful song, perfect for Thanksgiving. We get here this morning, and Brother Laurie says, you know, I meant to phone you this week and ask you if you could do Wonderful World. Here we are.
Okay.
Not working?
Want me to click it?
One of those days, not one of those days again. We had that last week.
There we go.
Okay.
There you go. That was me.
Okay, so, oh,
That was me.
that was you. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, well, is that you too?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm
Let's
backing it
just-
up.
We're way ahead here.
Both of you do it at the same time.
Can you go back to the cat and the mouse?
Hang on. There we go.
It's green, so I'm not sure why it wouldn't be advancing. Unless it's one of these buttons that has been touched and changed. Okay, but the mouse and the cat were going to heaven. So, they died, they were there for a while, and after a few days, God found the mouse, and he said, "Hey, mouse, how are you liking it? How's it going so far?" Mouse said, "This is great, love this place. But you know what? I'd love to have some roller skates." No problem. God gave him the roller skates. Then a few days later, God finds the cat and he says, "Hey, cat, what are you thinking about heaven? How do you like it so far?" The cat says, "This is great. I love it here. I didn't know you had Meals on Wheels." So last Sunday we talked about gratitude as a game changer, part 1. Today is part 2. If you could go to the next slide, that would be great.
Okay, you do it.
Okay, good. So in the book, I heard the owl call my name. Margaret Craven writes about a story about a minister who has been assigned by his bishop to minister to a group of Indians in British Columbia. And he tells the minister that this group of Indians, people, have no word for thank you. So the minister, after being there for a while, discovers that even though there isn't any word in their language that would say thank you, they are very generous and giving people. And in fact, what they do is every time someone does a favor for them, they do a favor in return. And every time someone offers a kindness, they offer a kindness of equal or greater value to people. So they don't say their thanks, they do their thanks. I think that's wonderful. So last Sunday we were talking about being grateful for what is right here. And I was suggesting that we can be pretty hard on ourselves. And so when we discover that moment, and we have many of them, that moment when we think, oh, gee, I handled that pretty well. Because a year ago, a month ago, I might not have done that as well. So be grateful for our spiritual journey and how well we are doing on it. Today, and so there's an example of that. There was a fellow who was a salesman. Can you go to the next slide? There you go. And the salesman was selling baking powder. And the baking powder sales were not going well.
I didn't do that.
No. Is it someone else? Oh boy, let's just pray. It's one thing when it's not working, but when it goes ahead of you all the time, that's distracting. Okay, so the baking powder salesman was having a difficult time selling his baking powder. And he was really getting frustrated. The baking powder wasn't selling. So he started to ask himself, so what can I do about it? How can I get it to sell better? And he had this idea, add a premium to it. So every time he sold a box of baking powder, he would give the person some gum. And the gum was going really well. People loved the gum, but the baking powder, not so good. And, you know, he had a family, he had bills to pay, a house to pay. So he started to pray. What can I do? What's mine to do? And he was asking God for ideas. And as it happened, he heard a voice. And the voice said, the answer is right in front of you. And the answer was, okay, stop selling the baking powder, start selling the gum. And the salesman was William Wrigley. He had within him what you and I have within us, all these qualities of God. And by stopping for prayer, he was able to tap into his imagination and his power of wisdom to bring forth a divine idea that blessed him. He asked, what am I to do? So next slide. So today it's for us to be grateful for what is outside of us, not just what is inside of us.
It went ahead.
It's-
What the hell?
Maybe we should just turn that off. Can we? Can we do that?
No.
Yeah, just put it on mute because it's too much. Okay. So.
I know.
So today is about being grateful for what is outside of us. So Dr. Cronin, he had a friend, a colleague, who would give an unusual prescription. Okay, good, thanks. He gave an unusual prescription, and the prescription was called the thank you cure. So when his patients would come to him, and the patients were depressed or frustrated or angry or worried or in doubt, he would say to them, here's a prescription that for the next 6 weeks, I want you to say thank you for every good favor that someone does for you. Just say thank you. But even more than that, say thank you with a smile. And at the end of 6 weeks, most of the patients came back, and of course you can imagine, they were feeling better. Because when we open our hearts and we're grateful for what is there, we feel better about that. Jesus asked us to take that a step further. Beyond just feeling grateful, he talked to us about love. And he talked to us about loving not just the people that are easy to love. In other words, don't just thank the people that are easy to thank for whatever experience, but we go beyond that and we love. And so in Luke 32 we read, if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? But love your enemies, do good to them. That's going the extra step. It's not always easy to love the people that we're having a challenge with. So how do we do that? How do we open our hearts and experience gratitude for the people in our life that are just a little bit challenging? Does anyone have any of those in your life? Oh, come on, come on. I can't be the only one. So who are enemies when we think about enemies? They could be the people that we work with. You know, we wish that they would work differently or better, or that they wouldn't say what they say to us or whatever. It can be the terrorists that are doing what they're doing. It could be a family member, so now we're going to be gathering with our family this weekend, and maybe there's someone there that we're challenged with. There's all kinds of people that can show up as our enemy. But Gary Simmons, Reverend Gary Simmons, reminds us that no one and nothing is against us. Would you say that with me? No one and nothing is against us. This morning I opened my text messages, and there was something there, and I had to keep reminding myself, no one and nothing is against us. And just try to move into that person's perspective so that I could see from their point of view what their issue was and try to understand it and have compassion for it. Because it's the truth. No one and nothing is against us. Last week I talked about being a turnaround specialist because that's what Jesus was. Wherever he went, he turned things around. You know, there was the young girl who was sick, and their father came and asked Jesus' help. He went there and he turned it around. He turned around the temple situation when there were sellers in the temple, and he turned that around. So he turned everything around, and he taught us that we can do that too. And so really, that's what we're doing. When we recognize people aren't really our enemy, but there's something there for us. There's a gift that they bring to us to help us to grow better in our spirituality. Jesus also taught us about the gap. The gap. When he went to raise Lazarus from the dead, he stood in this place, the gap, where he stopped and he prayed. And he said, Father, I know that you have heard me. I thank you that you have heard me. So it was the gap between this is what is showing up, this is what I can see, what people can see with their physical eyes, but I'm standing here in prayer so that I can move to this place where I can know the truth with my spiritual eyes. He taught us about that gap. Our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, taught us about prayer. And in the Revealing Word, he writes, prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It steps up mental action until man's consciousness, so our consciousness, synchronizes with the Christ mind, or Unity calls that the superconsciousness. So you have 3 states of mind. You have your conscious mind, which is aware of everything that's going on right here, your subconscious, which holds all of your memories, and then your superconscious mind, or the mind of the Christ. So we want to move from here, and we want to raise our vibration higher up so we can see something from a different perspective. Prayer is an affirmation of truth that eternally exists, but which has not yet come into consciousness. It's bringing the invisible into the visible. But we have learned that to get results, we must pray with persistence and understanding and with faith. This practice establishes a consciousness where doubt cannot enter. Does that make sense? That if we could raise our consciousness, raise our view, change our view, then so often we can get into that place of seeing from a higher perspective, of being grateful for what is right here, right now, which isn't always so easy, right? But Charles Fillmore talked about that. So it sounds to me as if the answer to that question, what am I to do, is to stop and to pray with persistence and understanding and with faith, so that we can get to that place of gratitude for whatever's showing up. You know, I don't know about you, but when I'm watching the TV news, I can get kind of upset and have some comments about what's going on. But really, I don't want to be in that place. And sometimes I'll say, okay, I'm not going to watch the news for a while, but that doesn't always feel like the answer. I think the answer is that when we're watching the news, it's instead of looking and calling things bad, it's looking for the good. Where's the good? The good is when you see people being focused in the stories on how they're helping this situation. Maybe they're marching for justice. Maybe they're change makers of some kind. Look for the people that are the turnaround specialists. And as we're watching them, we can change our own mind and our own perception of what's happening. A wonderful affirmation I found in a Unity magazine. My mind is poised and my heart is serene, for I know the Spirit of God. Okay, I was reading off there just a second. Then it went away. Okay.
It's there again.
It's there again, thank you. My mind is poised and my heart is serene, for I know the Spirit of God works in all and through all to bring forth great possibilities in my life and in the world. Just think about that. My mind is poised, my heart is serene, for I know the Spirit of God works in all and through all to bring forth great possibilities in my life and in the world. And I have a copy of that for you on a little card that you'll receive during the offering to keep with you. Because it's a wonderful reminder that we can get so caught up in the stuff, in the drama, and thinking that all of that is bad. But here's the thing. When we hear about deaths and murders and accidents and people dying, everybody dies. Everybody dies. We're all going to die. Some of us will live to 100, some will live a shorter life, but death is a part of life. It's a part of our experience. So what we can do in that moment is we can express gratitude that the people that have passed on have just taken another step on their spiritual journey in their transition. When we hear about injustice, can't we trust that no one gets away with anything? Don't we believe in the universal law that what you put out comes back? Yeah, that's one of the universal laws that we teach here. What goes out comes back. So we cannot criticize and condemn if we think someone has not received their earthly justice in this realm, because no one gets away with anything. We all reap what it is we sow. And knowing that, then we could move into a more serene heart, a more peaceful place. So someone wrote this about our life force. Thankfulness helps you be receptive to the life force of the universe. If you don't express your gratitude, if you don't express your gratitude, you lessen your life force. If you don't express gratitude, you lessen your life force. Being appreciative empowers and strengthens you. When you call for a vision with gratefulness flowing through your heart, assistance from the spiritual realm floods into your being. This is a universal law. If you have been praying for help and for guidance and no one seems to be listening, start being thankful. Let go of your prayers for what you want and immerse yourself in thankfulness for what you have. This is an act of power. We say that too about when we become depressed or we're down for whatever reason. Go out and help somebody else, and then your energy, your spirit lifts right up. Even if in the beginning you have trouble being thankful, act as if you are thankful. There most certainly are things in your life for which you are appreciative. Focus your awareness on those things. There is a minister who was born in 1662. His name was Matthew Henry, and he was an author of biblical commentary. And he was accosted by thieves and robbed of his purse. You can tell it's sort of the 1600s. They used the word his purse. So he wrote these words in his diary about this experience. Let me be thankful first, because I was never robbed before. Second, because although they took my purse, they didn't take my life. Third, because although they took my all, it wasn't much. And fourth, because it was I who was robbed, not I who robbed. A good perspective. And the last thing I want to share with you about things to be grateful for, this was written up in an Ann Landers column. Be thankful for the clothes that fit a little too snug, because it means you have enough to eat. Be thankful for the mess you clean up after a party, because it means you're surrounded with friends. Be thankful for the taxes you pay, right? Just breathe that one in. Because it means you're employed. Be thankful that your lawn needs mowing and your windows need fixing, because it means you have a home. Be thankful for your heating bill, because it means you're warm. Be thankful for the laundry, because it means you have clothes to wear. And I'm grateful that Bob does the laundry. Be thankful for the space you find at the far end of the parking lot, because it means you can walk. Be thankful for the lady who sings off-key behind you in church, because it means you can hear. Be thankful people complain about the government, because it means we have freedom of speech. And lastly, be thankful for the alarm that goes off in the early morning hours, because it means you're alive. Yeah. You know, gratitude. To be grateful moves us into this wonderful place of feeling whole and feeling blessed. So whenever you're feeling anything other than that, just go to your heart space and remember to just drop into that place of, okay, just a second here. What can I be grateful for? What do I have? Who is blessing me in my world? And move into that place, and that'll open your heart wide and will shift. You'll be one of those turnaround specialists that we know that you are. So let's take this into meditation and sing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
So for our time of meditation, I invite you to become comfortable in your seat. It's kind of better to have your back straight if you can. And your feet flat on the floor and your hands turned up. on the top of your legs. And we take a deep breath in and we let it out. We shut our eyes and just close them softly. Let your jaw relax and your shoulders in particular, let them just rest down. And to keep breathing deeply. Sort of from your belly. Let your belly be pushed out when you breathe in and out. And in and out. So this is a wonderful time to be focused on gratitude. Grateful for who you are and grateful for the world around you. And if there's anything that's kind of niggling at you and you're feeling annoyed, just take a close look at it and find one good thing about it. And hopefully that can start to shift that experience. And then on the screen of your mind, just see like the rolling credits at the end of a movie. Start watching a rolling credit of all the things in your life that you have to be grateful for. And then just sit in that warm feeling of gratitude. you take a deep breath in. Let it out. Together we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Together, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you, Reverend Lori, for the message. We're truly grateful. And just remember, no one and nothing's against you, even the PowerPoint today. Now it's our time for giving and receiving of our tithes and our offerings. Our unity principles teach us we are one with divine source, and so we give not to source, but as source. Giving has been described as a spiritual practice of radical generosity. So give to what we wish to flourish. Giving puts us in the flow of divine abundance. By the back door of the sanctuary, on the wall, you will find intention cards. These may also be placed in the offering bag. This week, our prayer angels will uphold your intentions for what you want to achieve, either as a plan for your day or for your life. Now let us affirm our prosperity together by singing our offering blessing.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Well, this tune we wrote last year, Carlin and I, for last year's Thanksgiving service, and we thought since it's Thanksgiving again, and we haven't played it since, that we'd share it with you. Yes, we're going to make this an annual tradition. You know, see how it goes. It's called the Thanksgiving Waltz. If you want to get up and waltz, feel free. I mean, thanks for the morning, thanks for the evening, thanks for the day between. I give thanks for my wife, my family and life, and all of the wonders I've seen. I've watched babies grow and have fates of their own, dealt with life's worries and fears. But for what we've received, I truly believe Thanksgiving should last through the year. The Thanksgiving waltz is a song for all seasons, for bounty and family and friends. 1, 2, 3, you and me coming together with gratitude that never ends. The Thanksgiving waltz is a song for all seasons, good food and laughter and cheer. 1, 2, 3, you and me coming together to give thanks to last through the year. I give thanks, triumphs and trials, thanks for the good and the bad. The bad made me strong, the good sired this song to say thanks for the blessings we've had. I give thanks for my birth, the bounty of earth, for the friends I can count by my side. I give thanks for my health and just enough wealth to lasts through the years. I appreciate all of the blessings I've had, sunshine, even the rain. The hard times have made me a much better man, the laughter that followed the pain. Thanksgiving is such, and I'm grateful so much for the wisdom that I have retained. But when I have the chance, I'll take up the dance and do it all over again. The Thanksgiving waltz is a song for all seasons, for bounty and family and friends. 1, 2, 3, you and me coming together with gratitude that never ends. The Thanksgiving waltz is a song for all seasons, for good food and laughter and cheer. 1, 2, 3, you and me coming together to give thanks to last through the year. 1, 2, 3, you and me coming together to give thanks. That will last through the
Beautiful song, so let's bless our offering. So we're so grateful for the givers of these gifts and these gifts, the way that they will be used to uplift this ministry and to uplift everyone that we affect and whose lives have been touched by this ministry. We are so grateful. I'm grateful for all the good in our life, and grateful for the good that we have a free speech and that we have a free election coming up and the opportunity to vote. So we're grateful for that. Amen. And today is Celebration Sunday. So let's celebrate.
Celebrate good times. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Have something to celebrate.
Come on.
If you have something to celebrate, come on up and share it with us. A birthday, an anniversary, an accomplishment, anything at all. We are welcome and receptive to hear.
Well, this is in a way an accomplishment, but also a reminder. Please send in your farm pictures. If you're gardening, get your husband, or if you're the husband, get your wife to pose you beside the garden. Because right now the only pictures for Hilda are, the only pictures for Hilda are Farmer Jack pictures, and although he's highly esteemed Farmer Jack and Teresa, Hilda needs more pictures from you. I'm celebrating what was such a fabulous conference at Unity Village. And I invite any of you who ever, make a chance for yourself to go to Unity Village, and even to go to the Canada Conference next year in Nanaimo, BC.
Thanks, Pauline. Let me ask, do they have, the pictures they're sending Hilda, are they supposed to look in farm gear, or what's the story with the pictures?
She didn't actually say. I mean, if you want to if it's an older picture of you and you were out in the garden, I'm sure that would count as a farm picture because you're helping something to grow. If you want, I mean, not many of us are as adventurous or great as Dawn at putting on all regalia, but just suit yourself, have fun, and that slideshow is a fun part of our country hoedown. By the way, you do not, I know this is, I better stop.
Okay, I'll get to you earlier. When I got
I can't hear you.
Thanksgiving letter, it
Oh.
was said he wanted to speak at Unity again because he would learn more about himself.
Aw. Thank you, Margaret. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Do pictures of raking the leaves count?
At this point, anything counts.
I have two things to celebrate. First of all, I had my 4th chemotherapy treatment of the year, and all of the essential numbers in the blood count are up in the normal range. The second is that I'm leaving. For the winter, I'm going to Texas. And I've set up my contributions on TitheMate, so they will continue.
This month, we're celebrating our son, Mark. He's having a birthday to remind us that we're getting older. And I'm very, very thankful with Mark. It's been 3 years since he was in the hospital the last time. I don't know whether everybody knows about this or not, but I will share that our son has schizophrenia, and so he's had a number of hospitalizations. And now I'm just so grateful that he is well. And taking his care.
Well, Jim and I have two things to celebrate. One is that our good friend, John P. Allen, got his heart transplant. And that was really exciting because he had a long wait for it. And so we're grateful, and now he's into the long recovery. The second thing is on October 11th, 1999, my husband had a near fatal heart attack. And as you can see, 20 years later, he's still here. So we're kind of celebrating that.
My son and daughter-in-law every year, they do a thing for the homeless, and they've asked me to help them this year. So I'm going down December 25th. I think they're around the men's mission or something, and help them cook and help them feed the homeless. But they ask for donations, like coats and scarves and mitts. And I thought if anybody here could help with that, then I can get them to him, and that would be great.
Okay.
I have something I'm grateful for today,
Okay,
too.
good.
Two things. One, that Harlan stood by me for these last 20 years when it wasn't easy to do so. I could be pretty visible at times, so thank you. But I'm also thankful that my favorite cousin, don't tell the other ones, Susan, has come all the way from Long Island to join us today. It's wonderful to see you.
And I'll just add an announcement now. So tomorrow, Bob and I are leaving for Florida, and we'll be gone until the first week of December. So everything is planned and taken care of while I'm gone, and just encourage you to keep coming out and supporting us and being here for all of our fabulous guest speakers. So, okay, we're done. Okay, let's stand and sing. Thanks, Margaret.
My life is growing because other. We are one. One choice unites us, let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Just remember this week to be grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Okay, and the light of God surrounds me. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The power of God protects me. I am power. And the presence of God watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine.
There was a time in my life that I had to do it all by myself. Even though the grace of God was sufficient,